Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this day in news. This is Friday. This is the 8th day of the 8th month of 2025. And today is Friday. As you can see, I'm in my casual wear. We say TGIF 10. God, it is Friday. I am Jerome Gayman. I am actually from the great state, the sunshine state of Florida, where I'm broadcasting from, bringing you all the goodies. I'll be joined by the young man by the name of Victor Nagbe from Trenton, New Jersey, or South Jersey, New Jersey. We will be joined later on by the chairman of the board, Chief Tomalin George. He will be from the Philadelphia area. And we may be joined by the Dean of the Cabinet, Pewee, from the DMV, and so forth. And we may have our young man from Kigali, Rwanda. But today is Friday, so it's going to be a week in review. We are going to be discussing things that have happened all week long. And for some reason, we are going to be asking you to post your politician, business person, clergyman, the person of the week, or let's make that person of the month for the entire month of July. Who do you think we should recognize as person of the week or person of the month? Someone that have done something extraordinary. It could also be the government, or it could be the opposition. Person of the month. That person could be an activist, even in the diaspora. Right after this show, I will be headed to Tallahassee, Florida, to join my twin girls, settle their dormitory issues. The twin girls want to share the same dormitory. And it looks like housing trying to split them up. So I have to go out there and make sure that these girls have been together since they were in their mother's womb. And they want to stay together. So we're going to make sure we resolve that issue right after I leave from here. It's a 5-hour drive, but it's a beautiful drive. If you have ever been to Tallahassee, Florida, it's a beautiful place. Florida State University, one of the largest universities in the country, between 45 and 50,000 students strong. They are called the Seminoles. So we'll be headed that way. But Liberia have had a great week. Lots of news. Lots of news. We are going to be scanning through the different newspapers from what we have here. We are going to be looking at the headlines, beginning with the Liberian investigators, the women voices, the Liberian Daily Observer, the Inquirer, the New Republic, and then obviously Front Page Africa. Those are the headlines. Those are the newspapers that we are going to be looking at. We are also going to look at the newspaper that our correspondent here writes for sometimes. It's called Variety News. So let me start with Variety News. On its headline, it says here, Black Thursday, anti-drug protester march on the Capitol. That's the headline of Variety News. The second news on that Variety one is the minister lied. They're asking questions. Right stakeholders, MOCR insider refute the minister's claim that this administration had dismantled the rice cartel. Is she lying? The newspaper is saying, the government is saying something else, and something else is happening. The rubber union condemns Executive Order 151. They also looked at investigation in the Sapo National Park. The park is being destroyed. It is at risk. On the front page of Variety News, George Willie and the family of the arson defendants have clashed. We had this discussion briefly yesterday. Crisis deepened in the United Methodist Church as Estruin Nagbe shuts down. In other headlines that we're going to be discussing, August the 8th, 2025, Citizens Movement for Change received another endorsement for Grand Bassa County as Madam Hereta Mato officially joins Liberia's fastest growing political party, CMC. Ahead of the Chief Justice, Nyenwolo exit August 15th, Circuit Courts to resume another legal business on Monday, August 11, 2025 for the August term. Bapulu County, Senator Kamara calls for more budgetary allocation for Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency, says it will accelerate the fight against drugs in Liberia. And away from home, we discussed this briefly last week. There has been a fight between the former president of Zambia, and the present president. The former president died in the Republic of South Africa, and the wife wanted to bury him there because of the bad relationship between the former president, the late former president, and the present president. But it looks like the South African Supreme Court has ruled against the wife and family. It said the South African court has ruled that Zambia's government can repatriate the body of the former president, Edgar Lungu, and gave him a state funeral despite his family's opposition. There's a protocol established by all nations, all organizations, as to how we handle the disease, especially our leaders. And according to state protocols, no matter what the family says, while they may have a say-so to some degree, if the former president deserves a state funeral, there's very little anybody else can do. And the court has reaffirmed that constitutional right to the government. Whether the former president and the present president were on good terms or not, it has nothing to do with the state. The former president is not just a husband and a father, he's a statesman. He belongs to the state. And the rest of the nation deserve the right to mourn and bury their leader. That is protocol. There's nothing the wife can do to stop the state for carrying on her duty. Another story in a Liberian investigator, 30 Liberian journalists trained in NIMBA on anti-corruption reporting. 30 journalists. This is from the Liberian investigator, and the writer there is Henry N. Kolinke. And it reads, August 8th, Ganta, Nimba County, more than 30 journalists from across Liberia, 15 counties have been convened in Ganta, Nimba County for a 2-day anti-corruption awareness workshop organized by the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission, LACC, with support from the United Nations Development Program and the UN Peacekeeping Funds. The training, which runs from August 7th through the 8th, aims to enhance the capacity of media professionals to investigate and report on corruption while promoting transparency, accountability, and integrity in our public discourse. That's the Liberian investigator. Also, the Liberian investigator, this one by Gibson G. The LTA chairman Massacre denies virus salary claims, says $3,600 generator fuel is false. Before that, we all went through this. The LTA chair Massacre dismisses viral 10,000 K salary fuel clash allegation. And it says here, and this one is written by Edwin Gongloe Jr., August the 8th. Monrovia, the chairman of the Liberian Telecommunication Authority, LTA, Clarence Massacre, had dismissed as false and misleading widespread claims that commissioners at the institution earn $10,000 monthly and receive a staggering US $3,600 worth of fuel for generators. Appearing on state radio ELBC Thursday, Massacre clarified that the actual net salary of an LTA commissioner stands at approximately $4,800 after taxes and statutory deduction. There is no commissioner at the LTA who makes $10,000, he stated emphatically. That figure being circulated is inaccurate, and we welcome anyone who wants to fact check these numbers to do so. On the issue of generator fuel, Massacre said commissioner received about 200 gallons per month, which he valued between $800 and $900, far less than the $3,600 figure being peddled in the paper. That's Honorable Massacre. Also, from Front Page Africa, Judge approved $500K bond but refuses to release defendants in the capital arson case. Monrovia, controversy has erupted after Judge Roosevelt Z. Willie of Criminal Code Criminal Code A, denied a motion by defense lawyer to release several defendants in the high-profile Capitol building arson case, despite approving a $500,000 joint property bond backed by a deed value over $6 million. In his ruling on Thursday, Judge maintained that bond approval does not automatically guarantee immediate release, insisting a hearing on criminal appearance bond must first be conducted. The families are clashing with a judge. They think he has been compromised and he needs to recuse himself from this case. He has done some things that even the best lawyers in time are saying these are unusual. The judge himself has been the headline of the case from day one. He has put himself in the news. This is Judge Willie, Roosevelt Z. Willie of Criminal Court A. He's being on the front pages of the papers because he has become a news himself. George Roosevelt Willie. What do you make of this? Another breaking news that is good for us. This one from the Liberian investigator. Liberians enjoy free roaming on an ECOWAS mobile reform. If you are a Liberian and you in either one of our ECOWAS countries, you can no longer worry about roaming. After years of steep mobile charges that cripple cross-border communication, Liberian travelers across West Africa now have reasons to celebrate. The Liberian Telecommunication Authority, LTA, has announced changes under the ECOWAS free roaming regulation, allowing Liberians to receive free incoming calls and benefit from drastically reduced roaming costs when traveling in select ECOWAS countries. So if you were traveling from Liberia to Guinea, Ghana, Sierra Leone, the Ivory Coast, you know how costly it is, or it was, to make calls from Ghana to Liberia, from Sierra Leone to Liberia. Now it looks like you got some reprieve. The reform is already in effect between Liberia and Sierra Leone, with bilateral agreement currently on the way to expand the benefits to the Gambia, Ghana, and Cote d'Ivoire. The LTA confirmed that once these agreements are finalized, Liberian subscribers using Orange Liberia or MTN Liberia will experience seamless reduction in mobile service costs while roaming. A relief for travelers. Before ECOWAS free roaming policy, Liberians pay an eye-watering 50 cents per minute to receive calls abroad. 50 cents a minute. Wow. The fee has now been eliminated, at least for the first 30 days of travel, resulting in a 100% saving on incoming calls. Let me welcome Mr. Myean. How you doing there, young man?
I'm doing good, Mr. Gayman. How you doing? How's the family?
Everybody is doing well. It looks like the telecommunication in your hometown. Okay, now you're getting clearer. You were you were kind of fuzzy there for a while, but it's getting clearer.
We have new LTA boys, so they are working on some things. So what you expect?
It's all right. It's all right. Give us some headlines. What's happening on the ground? What are the Liberian people saying the day after?
Okay, so Mr. Gayman, let's just run through even we'll run through our regular headlines and also some of the newspapers. But today we saw live coverage for Nima County District number 7 representative on Musa Hassan Berete, and also we saw some of the star of the party. They were in Grand Bassa County today, where the Citizen Movement for Change received another endorsement from the Grand Bassa County. Some citizens from Grand Bassa County endorsed the Citizen Movement for Change, where we saw Madam Hereta. She's the cheerleader for Grand Bassa, Gibi, I think Bomb or Bombing. She controls three counties within the CMC. She's the cheerleader for them, the women cheer. And today we also saw from the court ahead of Chief Justice Yanin Young Exit on August 15. We saw that some issues are happening from the court there, where we are going to discuss about. I send you the headlines from there, and we also hear from Bapulu County Senator Amara Kone in call for more budgetary allotment for the Liberia Drugs Enforcement Agency. He says that if they want to fight drugs within Liberia, they need to add money to our Liberia Drugs Enforcement Agency. Welcome, Sidiki. Yeah,
Thank
so
you,
instead,
man. Thank you.
okay, he said that they need to add money to the LDA so that they can be able to work on putting stop to drugs within our country because it affects our young people, our young generation, our future leader. So as a result of that, everyone should come together to fight against this issue about drugs within Mama Liberia because our young generation they are suffering seriously from this issue about drugs. So I think it is necessary that we all come together and fight against drugs. So Siriki, welcome.
Yeah, thank you, my. Thanks for the recognition and thanks for the report regarding what is happening in Liberia. And good evening, Mr. Gayman. I hope you're doing good.
Good evening. I'm doing very well. I'm doing very well. Thank you very much.
Okay, good to hear. Yeah, today I saw a meeting with the protester yesterday from the Say No to Just with President Boaka. I think they had a meeting today with him and they presented a petition to the president himself. So it's a good start. Now let's see what's going to happen. But Liberians have come out on so many occasions to do protests. This is not the first. I think under President Boaka, President Weah, the last administration, they did some protests, which led to the government back then declaring jobs as national emergency. So I don't think protestation is a solution. The government of Liberia, because mind you, Mr. Gimen, some of the people who are in attendance, they are they are part of the importation of jobs. You know, some of the same people who are in the street yesterday saying say no to jobs. These are the same people that when you go and do your own investigation, they are part of it. And in fact, the former uh, deputy director at LDA, Fadiga, posted that they saw people who are just leaders on the grounds of that protestation yesterday. So people pretend, and that's Liberia, but the government needs to take action and put in measure where they can disgrace, kill people who are involved with, bringing jobs into our country, invest a lot of money into the DA. You can have thousands of people volunteering, Mr. Gamer, and you seeing people going on the field to arrest George dealer. You are volunteer, you're not even taking money, or you're taking $50. You go arrest somebody, the person offer to give you 5K USD or 50K USD, and you are volunteer. Can you leave that person money because of being a volunteer? It happens, but in Liberia, is unlikely to. It's on a very low percentage. But this is what the government need to focus on. Invest a lot of money into it. Pay people, pay them well, and invest into rehabilitation center to rehabilitate those that are already victimized and jail people who are bringing those substance into our country that is actually affecting the young generation. But today they had a great meeting. I saw it, which Mariah Yakula attended the meeting, and some of the UP people attacking her while she might be in a meeting because she like criticize the government, and this is how they think. Once you criticize the government, you should not meet the president. Then that means you fake because that's some of the adjective some of them are using on her part. she is who she is. That classification or the way they describe her does not, change the fact that she's quite awesome in the country. But yes, that's just my take on the Jaws thing. Thank you.
Thank you. Myean, continue the headlines.
Yes. Okay. So let me try to go to the papers here. And also, like Sidiki just said, today the president met with some of the planner of the just ended protest against Jaws. And today we also saw the former or the suspended acting uh, LTA boss who had a press conference today, and I was part of that press conference. I attended that press conference, and within the press conference, he made a statement that the case was sent to the court, and based on the ACC report that he was accused of some corruption or some act of corruption. So as a result of that, a legal team took the case to the court, and then they won the case. So no allegation against him was true about corruption or anything relating to his suspension by the president, which he acknowledged his suspension, that with that all other government officials who were suspended should take the legal issue, because if you don't take the legal issue, you just let it go and say, let me sit down, you will not be able to get justice, or what people say against you, people will not know where it's truth or lie, but you just sit and let it go. Your character will be able to go out there, spread out there, and people will not know. So he addressed the media today that the charges at the criminal court C was dismissed on him, that he's not like we say he's not guilty of what the LACC issue against him, that he was suspended for some mismanagement. So Mr. Gayman, I'd just like to stop there, and then I'll send you the newspaper so you can just go through the newspaper.
Yes, sir. Well, we talk about the drugs. There's a reason most people are very skeptical. There's only one agency in the nation that has the power to suspend, to arrest, to persecute, to allocate funding, has the power to do budgets. And that particular agency is the Republic of Liberia, headed by the president. So how can the president that has the power to arrest, to persecute, to allocate, come and say they want to see folks, tell them what is it that is bedeviling the nation? And then in the crowd, not only you had drug dealers, but you had the police officers. I think maybe the police chief himself was there. So this was, as people are saying, this was a true or smart way for the government to organize a protest. You notice that the protest had no name, no organizer, but they were able to have those beautiful T-shirts engraved, expensive shirts. The president wore one, his advisor wore one, all government officials were wearing those shirts. They got Zogos, they were in group, they were wearing those shirts. They have everybody represented there. And when you look in the crowd, you saw Liberia's elites. This is not they bring back our money or enough is enough. We are talking about some of the top people of the Republic of Liberia came out. Nothing bring these people out unless the government called them or they have a stake in it. They were out. Not only were they out, the government sponsored the protest, wrote the petition, and received the petition. The government sponsored this rally, printed the shirts, wrote the petition, brought the petition, gave the petition to herself, and the government received the petition and said we will turn it over to the government to enact upon these. So if I were going to choose somebody who is the political player of the week or of the month, I have to give it up to Joseph Boakai. To have the whole republic believe that this particular campaign was something that just happened out of the ordinary. Ordinary people organized it. And in fact, they agreed that they will not even call it protest. Because if you call it protest, it means that you are very harsh. And you are criticizing government. So what do they call it? The PR people call it a march. Nobody should mention the word protest because it was not protest. Protest has a different kind of meaning. It has a different kind of taste. So they came up with this fancy word called it's a march. They are marching to the Capitol. Legislators coming and saying, we wrong you, we have failed you, we're going to do something now. The executive have represented that they say we were wrong, we have not done enough, we're doing enough. Kamara from the Senate of all people is now saying the government should allocate more money as though we didn't know. What's new here? This is the deception that we are talking about. Everybody's not going to buy into it. This is why the women of the CMC, CDC, and movie, they wrote a press release yesterday condemning. They picked up on this. Smart women. They say you can do all you want to do, but you are not going to fool us. They came up and condemned it. They saw exactly what was happening. They said, Mr. Boakai, President Boakai, thanks, but no thanks. We understand what is happening. We know what's going on. We are not going to fall for this. And yesterday, movie, Mr. Kromah, how you call it? Is that movie or move? M-O-V-E-E. That is a political party. How you pronounce it?
Move.
Is move?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the former foreign minister.
Yeah, Ambassador Kimia. That's the party.
Yeah,
move. CDC and CMC women group condemned deceptive drug fight amid national protest. And it says here, this is their logo. The three political parties came together. They said in a joint statement, the group called for urgent and sincere government action ahead of the August 7 national anti-drug protest. This was the day before. Saying Liberians, especially mothers, are tired of watching their children die from addiction, while those in power protect the real enablers of the trade. In a rare show of bipartisan and solidarity, the national women leads of the three political parties, the Movement for Economic Empowerment MOVE, and the Congress for Democratic Change CDC, and the Citizen Movement for Change have launched a scathing critique of President Boakai's administration, accusing it of staging a deceptive and selective fight against the country's deepening drug crisis. In a joint statement, the group called for urgent and sincere government action ahead of the protest or the march, saying Liberians, especially the mothers, are tired of watching their children die. We are raising our voices against the mockery of Joseph Boakai's promises to rescue Liberia's youth from the scourge of addiction. The group said in a joint statement, His government, rife with deception, has continued to fail our children, while political actors engage in a dangerous charade. The Women's League expressed alarm over recent reports linking individuals with close ties to the president to drug-related crimes. They singled out the alleged arrest and subsequent secret release of Dominique Molu, reportedly caught with narcotics value over $295,000 US. Molu is said to have been an associate of the president's son, Tantan Wakai. So, Seleke, we are talking about being blunt, speaking truth to power. This is what the three political parties, the women are saying. They are mothers. They are teachers. Their children are dying. Their students are dying. And they find what this government is doing. It's a charade.
Yeah, I think in some cases they are right because there were no publicity about this protest, as you mentioned in your explanation. But surprisingly, we saw a lot of vehicles, especially these long trucks that we saw the protester who read the petition standing on, and it cost money to get that truck there. And the numbers of people that came out. But again, Mr. Gayman, in past history, when it comes to just protests, Liberians have always shown up, and that is exactly why I mentioned earlier on that protest is not enough. Liberians are clear about this. Even if you come out tomorrow, you say, you know what, every Liberian should get away with ghettos in your communities. They will do that. They will implement that. That is a clear cut. But the will from the government of Liberia to kind of put an end to this thing. That is the problem. You've been in power for almost 2 years. What are you doing to take an action from an administrative stand to put an end to this? At least minimize or just prove to the Liberian people that yes, you are making some effort to fight this thing. Liberians are not saying it. And at the end of the day, Mr. Gayman, today they had a meeting with the president. Going forward, it will be the same story. No action. And so the people who released that press conference is the women group for MOVE, CMC, CDC. They are right. And there have been allegations too that the son of the president, gets close proximity with drug dealers. I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know him, and I don't want to say it's true, and I don't also want to say it's lying. But in Liberia, whenever you see smoke, there is fire. Whenever you see people talking about something, don't just disregard it and don't also believe it 100%. Sometimes it can be lies. Sometimes there's some level of truth in what they say. But all these things, the government needs to come up and do something about this. The government needs to act. You can't continue to play with this. And you're right. We saw a lot of government officials there, pretending, even lawmakers, they have the ability to allocate resources, towards the fight against drugs. They don't do it. But all I know, they say the fighting drugs, they endorse the protest. And not just yesterday protest, that's how they've been doing it. But again, I personally want to thank everybody, every Liberians that show up, that supported this thing, but the way of the the decision to kill this thing completely from our country and rehabilitate our brothers and sisters that are always victimized, that decision will have to start with the government of Liberia. And no matter how Liberians come out, millions and millions of people can come out. The government will have to take the lead. For me, that it is what it is. Yeah.
Thank you. Let me welcome Mr. Chuchu Jones,
Yes, sir.
President in waiting 2029. How you doing, young man?
I'm doing very well. Thank you, Vicky. Welcome. I hear you in Rwanda, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Nice. Wonderful. Enjoy your stay there. Well,
Yeah.
I share the same view. This is all charade. I was amazed when I saw the people who went to meet the president on the drug issue. because these are not the young men and women who were participating, who started this whole drug movement. Not Moriah and all these people. I know them personally, Zoka and all these people. And they have hijacked this effort and they've sold it, for politics, for money. These are scamsters and crooks. We know them. The real people who started these drugs were going into neighborhoods for years now, those girls. And all of a sudden, they have changed and they're meeting the president. So, Seleke, I totally agree with you. That's the problem with our people. Even our young people are very corrupt. They're very corrupt. There's so much dishonesty in our country. How can one group of people, starting up a movement, organize it, take their time, actually reach out to those affected? For for almost 2-3 years now, that petition that you saw for the bill, that's not new. That's not new. And all of a sudden, you just see a strange group of people just come and hijack it and meeting with the president. So that's the problem in Liberia, and this whole drug thing starts with the president and ends with the president, in my view. So nothing's going to happen.
Nothing is going to happen. Mr. Jones, last night we took a couple of calls on the drug, and it was eye-opening what we were hearing. Ladies and gentlemen, do us a favor, share this show. Tell a friend to come on. We are reading your comments. We will call the names out. Whatever you have to say, whatever you want to say, put it in the comment section. Also, don't forget to nominate your politician or person of the week. Somebody that have done something extraordinary, or somebody that have done something so stupid, so idiotic that person is supposed to stand out as the person of the week. At the end of the show, we'll be announcing person of the week. So guys on the show, please think about who, what agency, what individual, what activist, you name it, somebody will be the person of the week. Everybody has something or observed something or observed someone that deserves to be the person of the week. So let's do that. But we took a couple of calls yesterday. About 45 minutes we were here taking calls. And some of the calls, let me go through some of the list. Some of the callers said the president himself is a culprit. Then we also learned that law enforcers and government officials with diplomatic passport and executive plane were using their cars at transport point to bring in drugs because they say they claim executive privilege. Their cars cannot be searched. They are coming with pickup truck full of stuff. Nobody knows what it is. We also learned that we have 176 border crossings in Liberia, and only 46 is manned. So we have 136 crossings in the Republic that has no security, no manpower. We also heard that the DEA dealers themselves are being managed. The drug dealers themselves, in some instances, are being managed by the DEA agents. And they call themselves, when other people go arrest other people, they will tell them, don't touch this drug dealer because he is my client. So the DEA officers got certain dealers, they got certain regions, they control people in that area, and they call those drug dealers their client, and those clients are untouchable. We also heard that the DEA and the police will arrest drug dealers, and they find a lot of money. They will frisk, confiscate the money, and let them go. Someone said the entire DEA needs to be reshuffled. Everybody needs to be fired, and people need to be vetted and rehired. Some folks are saying most of the DEA agents are volunteers. They are volunteers. They don't get paid. So they basically go out there to pay themselves. How a serious government will have people in its employ and don't pay them and expect that these people will be diligent, dedicated, honest. How do they pay their way to go to work? How do they pay their families? How do they keep themselves? Chuchu, you are a presidential aspirant. You know exactly what we are talking about. How do you have people working in your employer and they're not on payroll and you expect them in critical positions like the DEA?
You can, and that's why I would say this whole government is a failure. I mean, it's almost comical to see a government that has not solved one problem in almost 2 years. What have they solved? The drug problem, the food problem, the inflation problem, the corruption problem. So they're completely incapable. And you're absolutely right. Where you start from is start to pay police officers and the drug officers and judges and court officials and pay parole and prison officials. You have to pay them at least a minimum wage that they can sustain themselves, so that even if they're fired, they will know that they're not going to take a bribe for $50 or $200 because there's more to lose. That's why police officers are paid, very well in most cities or almost all around the world. And you can't pay a representative $15,000 a month or a minister $7,000, $6,000 or $4,000 a month, and then you turn around and you pay a police officer $200 a month. You can't have a president have a $10 million budget, okay? $10 million, and you don't have, people adequately paid, nurses, doctors in Liberia. How much should they make? Because you talk about the drugs, you need rehabilitation. You need medical officers, to help them. It's a serious problem. So, look, worker needs to step down. And I would say, I always predict these things, and it seemed very, casual and funny. I was saying this show 2 years ago, almost saying that Burger will be a failure. Many people were there. Oh, this and that. It's come to this. At the end before the end of this year, the whole country will be collapsed, in economic, social, political unrest. Burger cannot govern this country. He's shown it. You can't solve the drug problem. You go to El Salvador. El Salvador was one of the most gangster-ridden countries in Latin America. Okay? Booker came there. Within 2 years now, El Salvador today is the safest country in Latin America. He rounded all the drug cartel. He rounded all the drugs, and today they're safe. They even hosted a Miss World. So people who can solve problems, you know them. You don't need 5 years to solve a problem. Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traore, he hasn't been there for 5 years. He hasn't been there for 3 years. Look at the problems he's solved. He's fixed the economy, grew from 18 billion to 22 billion. He's built housing to give to people. He's managing his resources, and to the point where people all around the world can galvanize behind this young man. 37 years old. And you get an 80-year-old man who say he's been in office for 40 years, cannot solve one problem in Liberia. The corruption problem. If you don't fix the corruption problem, how are you going to fix the drug problem? The people are going to bribe the government officials to bring drugs into the country. If you just, removing people and suspending them, and it have no consequences, there's no crime, how you expect to get anything done? So the problem is not anybody but Joseph Walker. And I see, our society is very hypocritical. During George Weah time, we're calling for George Weah 6 months to resign, right? To step down, right? 6 months. We said that George Weah was bringing the drug in the country. We said that, I'm not a George Weah friend. You know that. But let's put it right where it belongs. But when it comes to Joseph Walker, then everybody wants to be civil and diplomatic. This old man is destroying this country. He needs to step down. There needs to be a protest. He cannot govern Liberia, period. He's filled in every area. And I will not stop until that protest is held globally for this man to come down and save that country from the disaster that is going into. Forget about election, forget about presidency. You need to first arrest the situation, which means the man cannot govern. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Wow. Seleke, the one of the DEA people, several lady called, and one of them said,
Can you guys hear me? Seleke?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, I think the host Jerome step up, but we will just continue talking until he gets back. So that's the problem.
He's talking. Jerome is speaking.
Yeah, because what the lady said, Mr. Jones, what the lady said, Mr. Kromah, she said, we are living in fear. Every time we call, we see the drug deal, we see the drug dealers, and we call the LDEA. The LDEA will report us to the drug dealers, say, Chuchu John call us to come and arrest you. Then after they leave, the drug dealer will go to the women's homes and threaten them. So the LDEA is, I mean, it's a network.
Yeah, you know, Mr. Gayman, that's what I mentioned to you earlier on, that we don't need protestation. It's good. People come out and speak in numbers, that we want this thing to stop and all of that. The narrative is good. But what we need is the government commitment to fighting this thing. And Fadiga, were on the show a few weeks ago or months ago. And Fadiga confirmed, both Fadiga and Abi Kromah, who works at the LDA before, director and deputy director or something like that. And they confirmed that there are thousands of Liberians on, working at LDA as volunteer. So just imagine that, Mr. Gayman, you call the LDA people, they may volunteer, they may go to the community to go make arrests. But the dealers, the polo people on the payroll, they're giving them maybe $500 every month. And you government, you say you're serious with fight, the just thing in the country. But those dealers who go on the field, they're getting a lot of money from the dealers, and they're not being paid well. So even you, Mr. Gayman, let's put it in your school. What you will do in that position? You get family, you get children to send to school, you get husband to pay. When you say you got to go to hospital, what you will do in that case? So the government needs to invest into the LDA. That's the agency responsible fighting this thing. And guess what? The few that are taking pay is very small. For example, $90, $100. And the worst of it is that at the end of the month, they don't get their money on time. Some of them, they owe them 6 months. They can't pay them 6 months, 5 months. You pay them small, but you can't pay it on time. But lawmakers carrying thousands of dollars at the end of the month, 45K vehicles every 2 years or 3 years. The president is driving $500,000 car. This is an old man that couldn't even buy transformer for a resident, according to Henry Costa. That he did a fundraiser on his show and raised money to buy Joe Barker transformer in his rehab resident. But today he's driving $500,000 car. And you speak about it, some of them don't even own a bicycle. They bag that kind of nonsense. And say, oh, they made a president. They made supposed to be in that kind of car. But for some of them, they don't even have a bicycle. But they feel okay that somebody is worth driving a $500,000 car on their expense. So this is the country we have, Mr. Gayman. And it's very, very unfortunate that we continue to see the same way of thinking from our fellow Liberians. I hope going forward, like Ellis we're narrating, George, we are the amount of time we are giving this administration. George, we have to be fair. We didn't give George that kind of time. 6 months, we already staged protests, bring by our money, bring by our, the different protestation, June 6th, and all the different protests. But this government, when you want to, they put just come, like get in town. After a year, almost 2 years now, and this George thing, Mr. Gayman, this is exactly what this government ran her campaign on. That all the former officials were involved into drugs trafficking. That they were coming to to fight this thing. We expected this thing to be, at least, we're not saying it should be totally out of Liberia, but let's see the fight, the effort from the government side. But we're not saying that. So the DA officers are right. Anybody here on the show, if you be real, you can't be a volunteer at a place, and the people you go and make an arrest on, they offer you thousands of dollars, and you say you will not take it, and you get family to feed. Only few. Somebody who is a patriot will say, you know what, I'm doing this for my country. Only a few of us. And a lot of Liberians are not disciplined to that level. Poverty is, you have to understand too. The men family got to eat. What you expect the men to do? So the government, they think about volunteerism. You the big shot, you're not volunteering. Why you want to come and to volunteer? Why? At the end of the month, you're taking thousands of dollars home. But you want the civil servant to volunteer because they're not big shot. So this is where we are, Mr. Gayman.
We are going live on Monday. We are adding to our broadcast bandwidth. We are adding Care Radio to our power base starting Monday. We are going to be on Truth FM 96.1, Hot FM 107.9, and now Care Radio. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are making stride. For someone like Mr. Jones that will be running for president, this is where he wants to be. You are hearing him.
I always been here for more than 1 year now. I'm the only one who can come on and face the people.
There you go. So we are going to take some time off to bring him on exclusively so we can grill him, because he has to have a policy on drugs, on education, on health, infrastructure development, on gender imbalance, inequality and social stratification, all of those things that sociologists love to talk about that can translate into public policy. So Mr. Jones is going to be my guest one of these days, and we have to chew him up and spit him up. He either knows his stuff or he doesn't know his stuff. So he comes out here beating up on Joseph Waka.
I think what he's trying to do,
go ahead.
I think what he's trying to do is trying to boost me up in the pool. That's what he's trying to do.
Yeah. The gentleman and another guy running for president called Ben Sanvee. Ben Sanvee runs from, he does his own policy on Facebook, but he runs for the show. Jones doesn't run away from the media. He runs toward the media. So that's a great thing. Let me welcome Mr. Victor Nagbe. Mr. Nagbe, how you doing there, sir?
Hey, Mr. Gayman, thanks for holding the fort down. It's good to be with you. Hello, my brother. It's nice to meet you.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. Myean, what's
Absolutely.
up, man? Yeah.
Yeah, doing good, Mr. Nagbe.
Okay, good. Let me also welcome our audience as well. Thanks for joining us on this beautiful Friday. Don't forget to share the show. Invite someone to please come and watch with you. The popcorn will be on me. Thank you.
As a man from South Jersey or Philadelphia area, they all eat it in the Philadelphia market.
We're in Eagles country.
He's a champion for now. He's a champion for now. When they ask them, are you going to repeat? They say the trophy is not loyal. I don't know what that means.
Go Birds.
Either you don't have confidence in yourself, because all winners will say, you know what? I think we're going to repeat. But these guys are saying, no, man, the trophy is not loyal. She keeps moving it around. So
Lombardi is not loyal. It
no,
can't stay
not
with
at
you
all.
more than 1 week, yeah.
For some of us that are in South Florida, we are Miami Dolphins fans. We have not been doing good lately. We are depending on Tyrese Hill and the rest of the guys. If our quarterback, if we just stop getting concussion, maybe we will win some game. But every day he's being concussed. And they tell him to stop, he go, he can't run back. He get concussed again, he go, come back. He said, this time I'm going to do it. And then knocking down the first time. So either he has the best agent in the NFL, but I just don't see how someone, brain is rattling in your head every time they knock you down, and you keep coming back for more.
Here's another.
Like Joe Frazier, the knocking down, he get up, the knocking down, he gets up.
Here is another tip for the Fins fans. You tell your racist cops to stop arresting your superstars on the highway. You know, we escort our own. Even if they're in trouble, we give them designated driver to take them home. No, that was a joke. That was a joke. But the season has just started. We pick champions over here, so we're ready. Right now, the Phillies are hot. We're ready. And Jane here, she said, I should shape of popcorn because I said popcorn is, the CDC people, they don't take anything literally. She really means I should shape of popcorn. So, Jane, I will find a way. I will send it to Moravia.
They will hold you to it. You say the popcorn, she's ready for popcorn.
I was sending it to Moravia, and then Moravia was sending it to you.
Send it to the CDC headquarters.
Exactly.
But Jules, what city are you in? What football team do you root for?
Well, I'm a Floridian from Tampa.
Oh, you're in Tampa? Okay.
Yeah.
So you're a Buccaneer fan?
Buccaneer fan. But yeah, currently I'm in Rhode Island on some business, but I'm a Floridian.
Okay, so here we are. I didn't know you were next door to me. I'm on the east, you on the west coast. We need to get together and do this.
Yeah, absolutely. I should be there soon. I'll come to Miami. Actually, I live in Miami, West Palm Beach.
Okay.
So I know the terrain. I live in Miami. It doesn't look anything like what according to we are.
You see, your politician, you're not going to take jobs on people. We're talking about Miami, now you go into Liberia.
Miami, LIP. You see, you now bring Miami in here, so.
Jim Maboro, you gotta put this man in place. He's trying to best for you guys.
By the way,
go ahead. Sorry.
When is this? When is your group? The CNC?
Yes.
I really like you. Like I said, anybody but Unity Party and CDC. Okay. So I have no beef for you guys.
Well,
I have no beef for you because I know at the end of the day, that you guys want to endorse me. I'm sure of that. Okay, so I wish you had the best.
This guy is too smart, Jerome. He's too smart. But listen, thank you very much for whatever it was. We're all partners. We are in the same boat in the opposition community. But thank you for the kind words.
I like you guys.
I wasn't going to go there, but now that Mr. Seaton is coming, I'm going to rub it in. Jerome, I don't know if you talked about this. Did you see the Mammoth crowd today in Bassa? I mean, the CMC is taking this country by storm. I know Jane here right now. She's probably going to take her volume and get some sleep, but it is what it is, my dear. We are doing things differently. And so right now, we're not making a lot of noise. We're just doing what has to be done. And so I just wanted to mention it. And as soon as I mention it, of course, Ahmed is here because he doesn't want to hear it. But is it true? Is it true? We have decided to do things differently. For the first time in 178 years, Ahmed, our guys were in Buchanan today registering people digitally. We're not doing that clipboard thing. No, we're not doing that anymore. No. We're not doing form. Give me your pen when you finish. Let me my pen not ready.
Yeah,
no,
man,
we're not doing that.
The lead in the pencil broke. Let me sharpen the pencil. But listen, you see this sort of madman crowd. Watch until I am on the ground. The real Bassa man speaking Bassa, the Riverside Bassa, the Maba Bassa. I speak all three. Watch me when I get on the ground. You will see what we're talking about.
There you go.
Choo Jules got some Bassa blood in him, so
I am Bassa. Yes.
There you go.
The Bassa people will have to make a choice here. So it's a good thing to have.
Hey, Jerome, talking about Bassa, look at it. Look at the other Owens Grove man. Siafa, anyone kind of writing. But anyway, thank you for the compliment, my brother. I respect you. Once you say that, I respect it. But let me leave the floor open. I'm just saying, Ahmed, you're trying to take a page from us. I mean, but who's to say? We get free advice because you know what? We're all in the same opposition community, but we're not going to wait. We're gonna change the game.
I think we may buy that headquarters. What do you think? I think we can. I think we can be the rally.
Wait, what did Tue and
Yeah. They said we shouldn't talk it. We're not talking. We're not talking. But I meant the next time you talk to us, we may just be your landlord. I meant you homeless for now. The next time you talk to us, CDC, we may be your landlord. You homeless.
Well, I think
you know we're gonna get a lot of email and text messages, right, Jerome? But it's all right.
Go ahead.
I think
you see you falling down. You homeless. You're muted.
Oh man.
You are muted.
Several will tell me to come out soon, Mr. Diggs. Don't worry, we'll let you know.
Something is wrong with Truth in Ink. Johnny, welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good evening. How you doing there?
I mean, you talking to yourself.
all right, let me go on and come back.
No, now you're clear. Go ahead. Oh, Johnny, thank you for coming early today. But usually you only come for the closing.
Yeah.
How you doing out there?
Well, we are good here today. It's okay. Have a very good weather today.
Who did we? I want to see you.
Liberians, we are good Liberians here, man. We are here. 15 countries, we are all good in Liberia. There's no problem here.
Oh, Mr. Seaton, you see, Joseph Waga's nephew said everything is smooth, no hunger, no drugs, no bad road, everything is cool. He said all 15 countries. Mr. Journalist, here is a man who, what is it, foot of mouth disease he got now, you're going to put one foot in his mouth. Mr. Seaton, the man said everything is cool.
Thank you very much for welcoming to the show, and I'm happy to be here once again. Well, I don't believe everything is well in Liberia. Prices of local commodities are going in the roof. Unemployment is high. The education system is a disgrace. The healthcare delivery system is in shambles. Our people continue to languish and live in abject poverty. So I don't believe everything is well in Liberia. I don't.
Well, let me welcome Truth in Ink. I met Stefanik. How you doing, young man?
You are muted.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
You're good.
Look, I think a progress of momentum within the opposition community is for Joseph Boakai and the Unity Party to be concerned, not the CDC. The CDC is but another opposition party, of course, with the ambition.
I did it. NSA got you locked down, man. NSA make sure you don't talk. Johnny, I'd like to start with you because getting late on your side there. We saw something great happening in Grand Bassa today. The CMC chairman, Mr. Musa Bility, and his crew were in Grand Bassa. And those of us who are Christian, we say the scripture said, what one sees with your eyes and touch with your hands and feel with your body, it has a magnetic impact. The people are seeing something new. They are seeing people with digital pads, iPads, registered on the spot. 2 minutes, your membership due. Your membership form is complete, and in 2 days you get your ID card. And you have access to your data. You can download it. You can go to the website and see if you are a member. Everybody who is a member is this is new, Johnny.
Yeah, so Mr. Goodman, I'm sorry, the internet has been giving me problem as you observe. I'm trying to change location, but if I heard you clearly, you're talking about CMC, activity in Buchanan and what they are doing in terms of doing membership recruitment, right?
Yes, the technology being
Yeah, I
used.
mean, look, technology is all of the 21st century. Hopefully, we tend to have Liberia fully involved with technology. I think you got it from the beginning of the presidency of President Walker. You're going to have that. I need 10,000 you getting education or getting normal IT or whatever. So that is the vision for the country. So once all of us Liberians in the various sector of our activities, we are all getting involved with technology. It's good for the country. Right now we're here, we can communicate with each other through technology. So I'm hoping that other political institutions, even the educational institutions, will get involved with technology. Even the government as a whole, government ministries and agency. I mean, I remember a few years back, we tried to bring technology at the court level where the Supreme Court judges or the circuit judges will have full data on all the cases that in their domain, where they can follow up so we can reduce the trial detainees in a situation where a judge should not forget about who he has waiting in prison to be tried or whatever. So I mean I support technology in a sense of development and moving the country forward.
Excellent. Mr. Sidon,
But
in 100,
can you hear me, please? I just want to make sure.
yes, we can hear you. Okay, Mr. Sidon, something new happened in Basel today, where tons of folks were registering digitally on a pad in 2 minutes. Your registration form and everything, your data is stored. You can go to the website, check who's member, your membership ID, when you register, whether you are a registered member. Everything is, instantaneously done. This is the first time we have seen these things. This is the change the folks have been talking about.
Well, thank you very much.
Hey,
But
Johnson, we're not talking about go to the phone booth, take a picture, you come out. We take a picture right there and give it to you.
thank you very much.
You can't go to the World Trade Center.
Visualize.
Yeah, you don't go to World Trade Center and take a picture and come out right there to do everything.
Thank you very much. We must give credit to the Joseph Boakai administration for liberalizing the internet market to make sure that our people have access to digital communication. It is now strange that people can now use our power to be able to instantaneously register for a political party. I'm pretty much sure other political parties will catch up. Well, it tells you that the country is evolving technologically, but it still have more to go. It have more to do. If you can recall, during the election that brought Joseph Boakai to power, Kamara employed similar tactics. That is, he spread out cell phone all over the country, and people instantaneously provided results of the elections to the UP database, or where they were able to project Mr. Boakai winning the election. So this is not strange, okay? So you actually make a big deal out of it, all right? CMC, I can say it. You can stomp Buchanan, wherever you want to stomp it, but I don't see you going anywhere, and that's my thought.
Mr. Sita, do you belong to any political party?
I'm neutral.
Well,
Okay,
then we don't want to talk to you.
You know what? I like your neutrality. Let me put it in context, Jerome. Let me put it in context for Mr. Sita.
Mr. Siafa Diggs. Mr. Siafa Diggs want to know whether today is CNC Friday.
I'm on the fence. I'm observing everything that is going on. I'm on the fence.
No, Mr. Alfred Bleedy, this is not CNC Friday. CNC just happens to be in the news, and we cover the news. We're not making news. We cover the news. Let me go to Chuchu Jones. You are the high tech man. You into technology. Where is your political party? Where can I check whether even you remember your own party?
Okay, so I don't have a political party. I'm not starting one. I'm running as an independent. I think Liberia needs a leader that can work with all the political parties, because we have a system in Liberia where when one political party wins, then he takes all the positions and he gives it to the cronies. So imagine a country with Chuchu Alice Jones president, or Musa Bilete Speaker of the House, or Robert Garguah, head of tourism, or Jerry at the university. That's a country that is formed for development, where there's no party. There's no, I'm with this group and that group. So I applaud, CMC as a movement.
If it turns into a political party or if it is, that's fine. I encourage it. But I, for one, I have the voice of the people, especially the young people, and they are my political constituents. And so I work with every political party. Imagine Alice Cummings today heading investment commission. So we need somebody who can bring our best and brightest together. Not party that would say, like what the CDC did. You took all the people then that, were not even qualified or capable. And what the Unity Party is doing today, what we see today. So the difference in 2029 is that I'm going to win the election and I'm going to work with our parties.
Good. Mr. Kromah, Seleke Kromah.
What's about?
I'm coming to you. Mr. Seleke Kromah.
I mean, your internet got problem.
Mr. Alice Jones is sending Cummings to Investment Commission. I think that's he think is the best place. He thinks that Cummings can be president.
Or the central bank. Or
central bank. You see, you got a choice. So central bank or Investment Commission. Mr. Kromah, what do you think?
Mr. Gayman, you're not going to play that smart game, Mr. Gayman.
I didn't say
no, but the same question you ask everybody, like, hey, you ask me, you're not put Ellis and R together, you're not going to succeed in that, right? You ask everybody to give an input on CMC website, Benny, where people go on the tweet to register. Like, that's a question on the show tonight. So let's stick to that.
That means Cummings will not decline. So
far,
the
young people against
let's talk about the technology that CMC is bringing. We don't want to make this thing a CMC show, but you insist.
No, I don't insist, Mr. Gayman, but
CMC is not bringing any technology to Liberia. It is a cell phone company that is providing the internet access. It's not CMC.
The cell phone people today want to register people. Yeah, go ahead.
CMC is only using a laptop that is linked up with the cell phone company.
Go ahead, man.
Network.
Don't listen to Unitap.
You shouldn't make a big deal out of this thing.
Don't listen to Unitap. The man government performing so badly that he refused to even identify. He said he's neutral. Go ahead.
Mr. Gayman, I think I agree with Mr. Jackson. I respect, look, let me make this, this clarity. I respect the political leader of the CMC. I think he's doing a great job in Liberia, helping the different counties, including his district, with the different projects in terms of road construction and all of that, and so I respect him for doing that, and in fact, we affiliated before in the last election, and so I still hold that respect for him, regardless of the differences. But this website thing, Mr. Gayman, it's not a big deal. Every day we sit in the opposition, we say the government is kind of promoting mediocrity in the country, and then we, the opposition, we don't want to set the bar high. This is very simple. Like, I think somebody mentioned that. The same thing Kamara did. It's just a Google form stuff. Just set up a system on your computer. You have your people on the field to fill in, and it will reflect well on your computer. So it's an easy thing. For example, Mr. Gayman,
one minute.
Hold on.
The CMC do it.
Yeah, but it's simple. It's not big deal.
If it's not simple, how can you fail at doing it, man?
No, but we got a website. Don't say we fail. Huh? We have a website.
Let me just say this.
I can say this.
A point of correction. Yeah, go ahead.
Let me conclude. I can send you a link right now for the ANC website.
Please send it to me. Let me register on CM.
I will, but hold on. Let me finish. You don't do it. We're not in the camp. Where
I'm ready to register now with CMC. Send it to me.
So hold on, Mr. Gayman. We have a website. You can click there right now. You will see everything we've been doing as a party since 2016.
I want to register.
You will see it, right? So that registration stuff it's not anything big, okay? I know few of my friends.
I want to register now. You don't have it.
It's not a big deal. For me, it's not a big deal. But CMC
out of something that is not.
They are doing a great job in terms of the political leader engagement.
So first of all, if you say a friend of Mr.
The website
Kromah,
is not
if you say you know a few friends who work on the website in Liberia, that is not right. That's not true.
wow.
The constructors, the builders of that website in Europe.
No, Mr. Nagbe, please.
I'll be allowed.
I don't want to call people names. They're very
I have spoken to the website builder myself. But let me
Amen.
say this. Let me say this.
But Mr. Gayman, gentlemen, please, gentlemen. Mr. Gayman, I don't think we should go like Brentford time discussing registration, of policies through technology or difficulties. That's not an issue for Liberian people.
Johnny,
Mr. Gayman, let's just see that as of passing through discussion, and let's find more sustainable thing to discuss. Please.
Go ahead, Nagbe, close on this.
Thank you. So I forgive Jackson and Kromah for not understanding the magnitude. Give me chance now. Give me chance. I forgive Jackson and Kromah for not understanding the magnitude of what is unfolding here. What is happening here is not just a website. You're talking about the servers that will store the data that you're collecting. You're talking about the firewall that will protect the data that you're collecting. You talk about the electricity that will keep the servers running. This is not just a website. And I understand you don't understand
Who's providing the network? Is the network?
I get it. Oh my God, let me finish.
No, let
Jackson,
me finish.
you say you're neutral. Let me finish.
Neutral.
No, but I'll leave it with you. Let me say this. If it is easy, do your own tomorrow.
Thank you. Truth Inc.
Yes.
What is it that you guys doing?
Why we don't want to do it that way, Mr. Nagbe?
What is it that you doing? What technology
There are
is
so
bringing
many
to
ways to
the
do it.
Why you not gonna do it? I don't
No,
understand.
you can't compare us to
Guys, listen. The Truth Inc. is on deck. Go ahead, Chief. What is CDC doing to upgrade to come into the 21st century?
Well, I'm not on a comparison note yet, but I think I don't agree with those who think that using technology as CMC did today or have introduced is anything we should take lightly. If you have been involved with the formation of party, establishing bases, party structures on the ground, and knowing the tediousness involved with it, and then also accuracy, you will not dismiss that effort. While it is true you cannot overstate it, but I think we must all set these standards because these are things we see happening in every part of the world. So if a government, the perception is that if a government will introduce technology, if a political party could introduce technology in its own everyday working, there is a possibility that that could drive its governance approach and methodology as it gets in the power. So I think it's a good thing. We must commend it, and I will hope that other political parties can adopt the same because, of course, it's cash intensive. Even if the internet technology exists, but it's cash intensive to have it. But it's good. It gives you accurate data. It puts you at a point where at least you can predict. If you want to predict your vote, you can determine how many persons, if you were to hold a rally in Basel tomorrow, you can provide estimate of the number of people that could likely attend. So it's a very, very good thing. And generally, part of the reason why you want to do this is that because it's new to our people, it will become what is an ordinary thing that we will look at, but it could become a tool that could drive people to it. You know, ID cards, membership commitment makes people to get committed to a member. So I think that's a good thing. But overall, all I can say, the momentum for CMC, the momentum going forward, is not one for CDC to get worried about because CMC does not want CDC position. CMC does not want to be the meal. CMC want to be they want the leadership of the country. So it is for Bweka to be concerned about. So I wouldn't waste time trying to downgrade the effort or try to say it's not big. They can celebrate as much as they want. The only thing I would say to them, because I've been in the business for over 20 years now, except maybe Mr. Nagbe, nobody yet have had actual physical on-hand political experience of liberal grassroots party building compared to me in this regard. And so I would say to you guys, you want to be careful also how you play with this kind of information. You don't want to appear like you're bragging it so much because, listen, you don't want it to be too alien from the people. For example, and I'm not doing it in any way to denigrate, but part of the reason why ANC was a little bit not accepted generally by the ground people because they came with mentality of this nature. So I think it's good to be humble in your achievement so that let the praises come from the people that have been affected and not this one. I know you guys just saying it because we own the show, but in short, I think it's a great achievement. I call party to do it. Now, with regard to CDC, ask a specific question. Many of the CDC grew up through technology. Of course, website is down. Of course, is something we started long since. We have more than 2-3 different websites. So obviously, the registration by so it's not that, but CDC was involved in digital ID card. I don't know whether that's the same thing you're talking about, but we're involved in digital ID card around the country. We photo ID almost all of our members. That is why sometimes I can tell you, for example, I can tell you in Monserrado County, a one telephone call can bring 25,000 persons as CDC officials of the county together because they went through the process. So this digital technology have been there. Perhaps what you're talking about, I don't know the specifics, but it might be an other one. It's a good thing. Let us all encourage all of these processes, particularly so in the opposition community. For me, I celebrate any great move because look, the move the opposition make is not one that says tomorrow morning we're going to win the next election, but a one that says to Mr. Boyka, you don't have a blank check. If you don't do those things that you promised to do, there are alternatives that Liberia people can look up to. So I think that's why the opposition community is very good. They must be strong. In fact, the orator said it that we must have a very vibrant and strong opposition. That's the only way perhaps our democracy can be strong. So we welcome and applaud the move by the CMC today. I was impressed with the turnout in Grand Bazaar today. I saw it. That's strange, and that's a good thing. It is my understanding that I know Zaza may likely be Musa Belite's running mate. I don't know how true that is, but that's a speculation going around. I hope you guys could throw light on that. But so far, I think that's on that.
Who?
I think he's the president of the Basel Community College. One Zeze or Zaza. He's a very permanent Basolian. J Zaza or something like that. But the president of the Basel Community College, something like that.
We don't have a community college.
What you got there?
The Basel University.
Okay,
3 years now.
Okay, so who's the president of that university? If you know, I think
Reverend Dr. Samuel Reeves.
Oh, Samuel Reeves?
Yes.
Okay, but that one.
But on that question,
maybe the former president.
Yeah, I guess. I'm hearing something like that. I'm not too sure. You guys too.
Okay. We were checking it. Mr. Johnny, we got something here that gave me a flashback to the Ellen days. Ellen decided that she was no longer going to persecute anybody because everybody she took to court, they won the case. She said the judicial system was very weak. That everybody she persecuted won the case against the government. The government lost over 200 cases and won only about three. So she decided that she thought it made sense to public shame them, then to go through the court system, let it hang over their heads, then to go through the court system. Reminds me of today, the LTA, the gentleman was acquitted in a court of law, and he's now bragging that anybody who has been accused by this government or anybody should go to court and exonerate themselves. Are we headed back to that where every thief that knows where this thing going to end will say, take me to court?
Yeah, Mr. Gilman, criminal trials are state trials, the state that try people, right? So if the state does not have the sufficient evidence to prosecute a criminal case, the state should not get involved with that trial. But it also depends on the state's own policy on criminal justice system in the country. You understand? If you are intent to accuse people for corruption or criminal offense is political, then that's another issue. If your intent also is to do genuine judicial engagement, genuine justice, genuine trial, criminal trial, then it is your burden to make sure that all of the necessary evidence are generated, are preserved, are protected. They are watertight that can go to court and prosecute a person and the person is found guilty. And then you said that deterrence. If we don't have evidence, then don't try. I remember during the days of TC Boo as Solicitor General, and even coming up to Kehleboe Gongloe in Eddie's first time when he was SG, he always indicated that there is no need to try a case that you don't have evidence for. Not because you are still, you won't make big news and say, oh, Mr. X is accused of corruption, so we're trying the person. If you don't have evidence, don't try the person. And that's very important in the criminal justice system. So I think those 200 cases that the regime of administrative law was not because of any basically corruption in the judicial system, but basically they may not have the relevant and sufficient evidence in the court because in the criminal case, the defense lawyer is looking for your witness. We're looking for your situation where you are bringing evidence that do not collaborate with each other. So in that case, and the criminal system says that any simple doubt the case go in favor of the defendant. Because the theory of that is that in the criminal case, the entire nation, the entire state is against one person. So being the entire state against one person, that gives you all the resources, all the opportunities, everything to ensure that that person is found guilty based on the merits and demerits of the case. And that person, and that still will be a matter of deterrence. When we don't have evidence, do not prosecute. So in this case, with the current regime of President Bouakai, all of those that they have evidence on in terms of LACC investigation or GAC, if you don't have the team of lawyers, I must be genuine about what they want to do. They must review those evidence, review the information, and tell the Minister of Justice that these cases do not have enough evidence to be prosecuted, so we cannot prosecute them. But if you want to say because of political reason, we send the court, and you guys have strong lawyers who understand the system, they will always be acquitted due to the government's inability to provide the sufficient evidence to prosecute people in case. So that's it. I can say based on my simple understanding of what may happen in this country.
Mr. Seaton, I think you may have heard this if you were not in Liberia. When former President Ellen Johnson said he tried to take Edwin Snow to court, Edwin Snow told her, take me to court, I will win. Take me to the Supreme Court, I'm going to win. Again, when Honorable Vining Sherman was accused of corruption, he told the folks, he said, taking me to the Supreme Court is like taking fish to the water. Fish is not afraid of water. Nothing can happen to me. When he made that comment, Global Witness got into the case and made sure that he got persecuted, even if not in Liberia, but he was sanctioned because there is no trust in the Liberian judicial system where criminals can say, I'm not afraid of the court, take me to court. So Ellen decided maybe taking these guys to court and vindicating themselves, then they'll come out and become emboldened. So why don't I just leave this thing hanging over their head as indicted or accused? And that was her way of dealing with it after she lost so many cases. In 2 of the cases, even the prosecuting attorney didn't show up. Can you imagine the prosecuting attorney for the state didn't show up in court?
Thank you very much. Now, what does it tells you about the country Liberia? It tells you a lot. And some of the things that it tells you is that Liberia has become a country where we do not respect the rule of law. The judiciary is compromised. Liberia is a country in which when you are accused of corruption, you go to court, you get acquitted. As a matter of fact, they hail you in Liberia when you are a crook. I repeat, you are hailed in Liberia when you are a crook. Honest people in Liberia, people don't regard them. So because of that, it has become part of our culture. It has been ingrained in our culture. People steal government money, they take them to court, they are acquitted. Why? Because the judiciary is compromised. People bribe jurors, they bribe judges, and people use political influence to win cases. All of these things is go on and on and on and on in Liberia until there is a fundamental change in how we do business in Liberia. That culture of impunity in so many different facets of the Liberian society is going to continue. So I'm not surprised that President Helen Sirleaf decided to prosecute over 200 people, despite the fact that her government was a sitting government at the time. It had all of the resources to prosecute these people. But again, because the judiciary is rotten, in which all over the world, the annual report always talk about the Liberian judiciary. It needs to be strengthened. The judiciary also talk about that they lack capacity. So that's one aspect of it. Another aspect of it is when you accuse somebody of a crime, you must have all of the overwhelming evidence that when you take that person to court, you can convict them. You can't just get up and accuse somebody, say, oh, you stole Jackson Seaton's cell phone, and you don't have overwhelming evidence to prove that that individual stole my cell phone, and you take the person to court. Obviously, you're not going to win this case. If the case is based on circumstantial evidence, you can win the case. You must have high evidence. And that's what is happening right now with respect to what is happening with the arson case in Liberia. So we have to be very careful here. The judiciary is compromised. That is a given. Two, most of the cases that Ellen prosecuted at the time, the government did not have sufficient evidence. And even Kehleboe Gongloe, when he was Solicitor General, he said it clearly that I'm not going to take anybody to court that I cannot win the case. So what does that tell you? You must have overwhelming evidence. That's one. Two, the judiciary needs to be strengthened. The judiciary really needs to be strengthened. Most of the people that sit on jury, that go for jury duty, they are being paid peanuts. If somebody is sitting on a jury duty for $2 million case, and that person overnight, while the person sitting there, some kind of brand every little comes with some kind of $10,000, and they are being paid maybe about $50 to sit on that case, what do you expect?
Wow. Mr. Jones, you are running for president, and you want to bring some sweeping changes. Here, talking about the cases in Liberia and the judicial system. Here they say George approved $500,000 bond, but refuses to release the defendants in the capital arson case. And it reads, controversy has erupted after Judge Roosevelt Z. Willie of Criminal Court A denied a motion by the defense lawyer to release several defendants in the high-profile Capitol building arson case, despite approving a $500,000 joint property bond backed by a deed valued at over $6 million. In his ruling, Judge Willie maintained that bond approval does not automatically guarantee immediate release. This is a judge that said these people will not be released because they did not have enough bond. They went and got enough bond, $500,000, plus a guaranteed $6 million deed. And when the people show up, he accepted it and told them he won't release them because bond does not guarantee your release. This is the system we are dealing with.
That's the same thing we're talking.
Yeah, so I mean, Honorable Jones, this is why we will bequeath to you as incoming president of the Republic of Liberia. How do you deal with it? How do you do judicial reform?
Well, I love the opportunity. And I would say here that the failure in our judiciary or law enforcement or financial or economic economy is just due to the president ineptitude. We see other African countries, okay, that you have a same failed corrupt system, poor economy, poverty, and you get a red president. And guess what? The country flourishes. We see it in Rwanda, we see it in Botswana, we see it in Seychelles, we see it in Mauritius. I'm not talking about Western countries. These are all African countries. That today, GDP is up, living standards is up, HDI, one of the highest HDI in the world is Mauritius. So all these things you said about, the judge not honoring the bond, drug, abuse for young people, all boils down to an ineffective president. Our president of Liberia is also the chief executive officer of the country. He appoints more than 5,000 people. He appoints all the judges. Can you believe that? Our judges are not elected like in other places. Everybody who was a judge in Liberia, down to our even sheriff, the president. Okay? The police director is not under any kind of civil administration or any kind of council. The president picks in and puts in there. The solicitor general, the president picks in and puts in there. Most places you find solicitor general, you find attorney general, and so forth in states, they elected. So if you've done all of that, and you still have a corrupt system, you still have a failed system, you have a failed state, who's responsible? So then in like government, that shifting responsibility. Ellen was a horrible president. Most of the problems you find in Liberia today is because of Ellen Johnson. Most of the social problems, look at the young women in Liberia, their mentality, the way they conduct themselves. They have no respect for even rules and no guidance for who they learn that from. Any. Okay? So that woman did more damage to Liberia than any president in the United States. The legislator today, you find are making so much money. Whereby public officials, doctors, nurses, teachers, all these people make more money. Who brought our system? Any justice in it? They fact of the rules where most countries who are poor, what they do, they either use the Ministry of Public Work or they even use the military. Right now in Burkina Faso, the military is fixing the roads. And they be able to fix the road at over 50% cheaper than having it done by private contractors. And it came up, she said, oh, people should pay for roads. And that's where the corruption started because she or people are not putting them together. And that's where you find red today in the Burkina administration. So I don't care how you can turn it around. I don't care you can say like brand people this and people that is seen like brand people that can live like good and don't have respect for them, who say they find it corrupt. All these people come to America. They put on something, they can buy a house, they can work. If someone of their employees on the week, they can support their family. So we have a failed state simply because we have elected people who are incapable, who are corrupt, they have no technological background, they can't work nowhere beside government. And I challenge them. Where did Joseph Walker work during the 4 years after he wasn't president, vice president? He started graduating law school there. I was the only one giving him money to make one Henry Costa. I can even have a man who say he wants to be president, but he doesn't have a career outside of it. Seeing with George we have today. Why can't he go work at ESPN? Why can't he go work at FIFA? Why can't he go work somewhere else? The president is not a position. I'm working, I'm doing business, I'm trading, I'm doing other things. So the day I'm not president, yeah, I go right back to my regular life. But you take a man of worker, you take a man of wheel, you take people who their only life is to live on government. So they have no idea, they have no experience anywhere else. That's our problem. Our leadership. Nowhere in the world, no country in the world, no corporation in the world has improved with a bad leader on time. Show me one company. If you look at Coca-Cola was failing. They brought a new CEO. Coca-Cola is one of the most profitable companies. Okay. Even Apple. When they fired Steve Jobs, Apple went down and went almost bankrupt. They brought Steve Jobs back. Apple became the largest company. So nobody is responsible for the failure in Liberia and Joseph Parker. And nobody will be responsible for the failure or success if Andrew Jones is elected. I'm not going to say, oh, the judges are not doing what they need to do, or we can't win cases. When I appoint a judge or I appoint a prosecutor, you're going to have the statistics. You're going to have to win certain case, or you're not going to keep that job. Everything's going to be measured.
Excellent.
When I appoint a minister, when I put a minister of finance, I'm going to tell you the GDP should double. If the GDP is not going to double in a year time, then you're not capable. I'm going to tell you that the schools, our school rate is going to be higher. I'm going to tell you that we need certain X number of private millionaires in the country by a certain time. If you can't do it, then you're not the right person for the job. So we don't have that kind of leaders in Liberia, and that's our problem.
Good. Mr. Seleke, you were very close to Mr. Cummings. So deeper into his policy, how did he intend to deal with the judicial problem, the judicial reform, and the criminal justice system?
I think it's just similar to what Alex said, Mr. Gayman. Both justice system and the justice we spoke about, it's no different from, handling the same approach, and Mr. Cummings always talk about, being able to pay the different judges on time and with good money so that they're not compromised so easily. And linking that to this, the LTA, former commissioner being, the case being dismissed and all of that. He had a press conference today, and I guess Myean tried updating us on it. And in that press release, I read his entire press conference. He mentioned something that we should not forget about, that the position for the commissioner were, highly contested for. So there were different people who were interested to be, commissioners. And so they could go at any length to just want to get him out of the race, especially when he already had that stuff on him, about some corruption stuff. And they could play that game good with the LACC, and it could be that the justice system too is not good. But at the end of the day, Mr. Gayman, regarding your question, how to make the justice system strong, is to first of all pay those people with good money. And these are critical positions that when people are paid well, they will do that job independently. They are not easily compromised. But in Liberia, you go to that court there, the people they don't pay them well. In fact, the Chief Justice during weird time, there was a worker at the Supreme Court. They call him Achipopo. The guy set himself ablaze, and I think most of you hear that news. He almost killed himself simply because the government of Liberia owed him several months. They could not pay him on time. At the end of the day, what he did, he went and laid down under the Chief Justice car. Every month they will take your pay because it's a big shot. But they don't want to pay me. You see? So at the end of the day, they could not even recognize him. So he went, he bought gas, put it on himself, and set himself ablaze. Almost killed himself. They had to rush him to JFK. Up to today, he's still affected by that. So people are not paid well in the justice system. So at the end of the day, Commissioner we're talking about, they may have been working for 4 years, according to him, today his release. So they make a lot of money. So just in case if he's guilty, they make him bribe his way through. Just in case, I'm not saying that what he did do, but you need to pay people with good money so that they can be independent. So that when somebody bring money beneath the they can say, no, I'm good. But at the end of the day, once we can do those things, and how to do that, Mr. Gayman, it will start from the presidency. When we have a president who will say, you know what, I don't deserve all the convoy. I don't deserve all the fancy cars. And I'm cutting my budget, for example. And And when the legislators, when they see that they can get away with it for the 5K card, and those money can be reallocated to the different, agencies in fighting the different critical issues that we are faced with in the country. But when you have a president, they may already get car, Joe will have a bulletproof car with him, no security threat in the country, but the man went for $500,000 car. And all of them are defending it. And some of them, the worst of it is that why would I be defending something that I have never, even if I've not owned it before, but at least similar to that. I've never owned my own bicycle, motorbike, or car. Even a Jones car that they can sell for 3K or 4K. You've never owned it before. But you backing somebody who is driving $500,000 car at your expense. Now that the man went, like Chapability, the CMC political leader, and get a same car Joseph Boakai is driving today, before you could become representative. So that is a fair case. But not Joseph Boakai who got the car only because you walk in a poo water and making president. And today he's driving that kind of car. And the people at the code, they are not being paid well. So these are the different ways to fight this. They pay the people well, and will bring some level of independence.
Mr. Nagbe, Mr. Seleke is making a case that I don't think he had done his homework, because President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf made this case to the UN, to the international community, said we need to pay these people all this money so they can't be corrupt. This is why you were paying some director $200,000, $300,000, central bank $50,000 a week, and all that other stuff. Even now, as we speak, these independent agencies, the kind of money they're making, the judges are making lots of money. I know one because my friend Jeevan Smith came over here for medical checkup. He told me, where he was making 65 grand plus tons of benefits, bringing his salary close to 75, 80 grand a year. So this thing about paying them good, it's not, we have to go beyond that. It's not, the more you pay them, look at the more they want.
Yeah, I think it's more than that. By the way, Mr. Sidon is in the back, and he's been waiting for a while. I'm not dismissing the compensation factor. I think it's important. So I think Mr. Kromah is onto something here. But I'll go back to what Mr. Jones and Mr. Sidon indicated earlier. The judicial system is beholden to the executive because, that Mr. Jones said, the president appoints all the judges. Who doesn't remember Justice Janet? And so that fear of removal is always hovering over the justices, and they keep looking over their shoulders. How do we expect them to be independent? And all that filters down to the lower courts, judges, judicial misconduct. We've heard all of the tempering, withholding of exculpatory evidence, fabricating evidence, coercing, and intimidating, witnesses. We heard the recent case of this gentleman who was brought in from Ghana. I forgot his name, in this fire incident case. His family had to come out and talk about how he was being intimidated. They promised him $50,000 a year. It went to $250,000, whatever it was. But yeah, that's the problem. The judges need to be elected. They have to be accountable to the people. If they know they are not going to be fired tomorrow by a letter from the executive mansion, I think there's a high probability that they will render impartial justice. But right now, right from the get-go, when this government came into power, we remember the Julie ND and the Prophet Key case. I think the government was in office less than a month. They put their fingers on the scale.
But look at the case with the women's camp. When the woman was convicted, right? Convicted, not a trial. And some function came to power, went to the Supreme Court, and it's not much of it. Even if somebody is accused, how do you take them as a president and put them in a high-level position to make your point when the case has not been resolved? There's no, the murder has not been solved.
Yeah.
So that tell you the evilness of this man, Joseph Boakai, And that's what they're doing to that country. And all they're doing is they're destroying the lives of young people. And they will not feel the consequences now. You can say, oh, that wait 4 years, that wait 5 years. Somebody who is 10 years old, for instance, doesn't work a company. He messes up. Hundreds of millions, billions of dollars of the country is gone. You're 16 years old when you leave from there, you keep getting years back. All you're here, your prime here, when you're supposed to have education, you're supposed to have access to resources, development, where you're supposed to know trade. It's gone. By the time you turn 16, 17 years old, you're young, getting to be a teenager and a young adult now. So that's where we risk. The drug problem we have today, it comes from 10 years ago. The neglect from 10 years ago, 20 years ago, after the war. The lack of resources in the young people, lack of of security. And all of a sudden now, like we got a knee jerk thing. All of a sudden now, it comes from the failure of government. Like there's a failed state. It's a failed state. No matter how you call it now, because they got a flag, we haven't. If the UN, I mean the IMF or whatever, they decide, okay, we're gonna pour our resources, the government collapses. If the Americans here in America, if we just decide to more money, when I say no money to Liberia, the government collapses. People eat each other. We save $500 million in medicines every year. That's like the entire government budget. That's where you see there's even life in on it. Not only government. The government itself does not provide anything for anybody. Nobody in the group can tell me say they got $1 as a source of social service on a bill. Not a dollar. Like you said, you still owing people that work in government, you can't pay them. And you are absolutely right, Victor. They hire people in office, they are overly paid and compensated. The problem is with the regular people. What I intend to do, like I said, nobody in that government will make more than $3,000 a month, including the president, and nobody will make only $300 a month.
Good. Ladies
That's
and
it.
gentlemen, thank you. Mr. Jones is here. We are having some technical difficulties, so please don't leave the studio because of the network. We are having problem bringing. So it's like a Roche Motel. You check in, you can't check out. But ladies and gentlemen, we are saying here, today is Friday. We are going over the whole week. It's like a weekend review. And in about 20 minutes or so, we're here to 7:30. Yeah. We would like for you to pick your person of the week, whether they are politicians or preacher or humanitarian, whatever, but you got to have somebody that have done something special. The person could be a preacher, it could be a widow market seller, somebody that have done something for the common good. And we can say this person is the politicians of the week. It doesn't have to be a politician, but your person of the week. So think about it. You know a lot of folks in government. You know a lot of folks in the social services. You know people everywhere that deserve a woman, a child, a man, a person that have done something that is admirable to be recognized as person of the week. Let me say, Felicia Hall, welcome. Thank you very much. Alfred Bleedy, thank you very much. Fixed Electronics, as usual. Eleanor Davis, yes, thank you very much. We got Fixed Electronics. We got all of our folks here. If you tell us where you're calling from, where you in from, that would be nice. We have Honorable Siafa Dix is here. We got Claude Destiny Seaton. He's in both places at the same time. We have the landlord. Okay, we got Mr. Dix. Let me see who all we got. We got everybody here. We got Jam Barrow. We can't leave her out. You know we're gonna be in trouble. Alvin Pay. Thank you very much. We got Abdullah. Is that Abdullah Dole? Thank you very much. We have Nora Hooks, Maurice Ja, Richard Saba, David Williams. We'll get to you guys. I will go along. Let's take some calls at the end of the call. You can call in. We're also asking the audience in Radio Land to pick your person of the week. The person could be a politician. They could be a church person. They could be a regular widow market person, a regular person like us who have done something admirable that you think the person did very well. And for the politician, there's a lot of them, so we're going to go through them. If you say you pick Mr. Seaton as the person of the week, you got to tell her why you picking him person of the week. Don't tell me because he's supposed Unity Party on a cover. Let's go. Myean, let's open the line. The calls are on, the numbers are on the line.
You got me cracking up.
Mr. Nagbe, you see what I'm talking about? I didn't even say anything. You're laughing.
You know, and I'm regretting that I had to tell you he was in the back. Maybe he was just supposed to stay in the back.
So you were in the Roche Motel, right? Check him out, but can't check back out. Myean, go ahead, announce the call. Let's get some call. Let's field the folks for the week. Let's see how they think. And I got my person of the week already, but I'm going to wait until 7:30 to make the announcement. Person of the week, I got my person of the week already.
Okay, so the lines are activated 07774 9986 07774 9986. If you want to call us, the numbers are also on the screen there, both diaspora and Liberia. +231 777 9986 077 6499. Let's see what we can pick up this first caller on the line here. Hello, caller. Name, where do you call from? Hello, caller. We are not getting you. We are not getting you. So 077 64 9986 077 64 9986. Let me see where we can work on this quickly. We are facing some the calls keep coming in, but it's like we are not getting them. 077 64 9986 +231 777 64 9986. Mr. Gayman, so you can just continue as we try to fix.
On a sweet note, we have this young lady.
Okay, I think a line is okay now. Oh God, we still facing. Okay, go ahead.
Monica Swain crowned Miss Earth Liberia 2025. She's a pretty lady. She was crowned this week Miss Earth Liberia 2025. Another story we covered from the southeast.
We have someone. Oh God, we still. Okay, yeah, go ahead. 07776
from the southeast
9986 +231.
If you are from Maryland County, you have to pay because you live behind Garguah. There you go. Yeah.
So we have someone on the line. Please stay away from your monitor. Hello, caller.
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm okay. Your name and where do you call from? Wow, we lost that caller. So please keep trying. 077 64 9986 +231 777 64 9986.
We're talking about technology, and we're having a problem with technology today.
Yeah.
But Mr. Nagbe, your hometown, you from Maryland County. The people say because you live way out there.
So, Mr. Gayman, let's see where we can try this next caller. Hello, caller. Name and where do you call from? Hello? Hello? Okay, let's take this next call. Hello, caller. Yes, your name and where do you call from? It never is terrible. Change your location a little bit. Hello, caller? Yeah, your name and where do you call from? Your line is bad. You are cracking you. Yeah, we can hear you now. Wow, your line is terrible. Just change your location a little bit and call us back. We cannot get you. So we are facing some internet problem from Liberia here because of the weather. So 07776499986 plus 231-777-649986 are the numbers to call.
We want, there's a breaking news here. There's a shooting at Emory University in Atlanta. That's terrible. We want to send our condolences and our heartfelt regrets. Something is going
Yeah,
on.
hello, caller. Your network is bad. Your network is bad. Let's see who can take the next person. Hello, caller. Oh gosh, we are facing serious internet problem from so just keep trying. 07777 649986 077 649986 here. Let's see where we can pick up this person. Hello, caller. Yeah, Nima, where do you call from? Yeah, I'm hearing you now.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead. Oh God. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Yeah, Nima, where do you call from?
I'm two Doug and Doctor calling from the township of Westman. But actually, I'm a citizen of Bengu.
Okay, make your point. Mr. Gayman, are you getting him?
Yeah, I want to be part of the party. Can you get to the party?
Which party? CMC?
Yeah, CMC.
Okay, just keep listening. CMC show will come on next. Okay, you're welcome. So you can put your calls in 07776 996 07776 9986 plus 231 0777 649986 are the number to put in here. So let's see 0777 9986 are the numbers. We are facing some technical problems. Yes, give me.
Well, I tell you what, if the line is that bad, we can go ahead. Mr. Jones, go ahead.
Mr. Gayman, I gotta run. I'm looking forward to coming on to explain my policy as a special guest. But let me just go ahead. How many people can I give as the person of the week? One or two?
Two, just two.
I can do two. Good. I will do two of the worst people of the week. So the two people for the week will be one would be Anthony Zuka. He's one young man that been working on trucks in for many years. He was not in the national today. And he's been in the trenches, actually going. So he's one of my people of the week. Very young man. So Anthony Zuka.
What agency he works for?
He doesn't work for any agency. This is his own work he's been doing to reach out with young men on drugs in Liberia. He is, I would say, the brain person behind the no drugs campaign. But he's stolen. I spoke with him today actually. He's having a meeting with other people. My second person of the week, somebody I used to be very critical of, and somebody that I will be very critical of if they mess up, will be Musa Bedebe. I think the CMC is doing very well on his leadership. And I want you to continue to do that. Again, no UP, no CDC, everybody else is a fair game. The two worst people of the week is Augustin Gafoin, the man who have messed up the Liberian economy, 17% down, 13% inflation, still paying government officials in the top tier, lots of money, corruption still rampant. So he's been one of, actually he beat Samuel Ture. He's the worst finance minister in the history of Liberia. And the second person is Liberia Team. Ghana today just announced visa free to many other countries. And she can't show this thing to us that being on a non-security permanent member is a big deal. And the foreign ministry basically just eats money. They have done nothing to make the lives of Liberians. All the deportees, like long-standing relationship with America. Why didn't she use that, to negotiate for Liberians, to make sure Liberians get some special privilege or exemption? She's still in our position miserably.
As you join the corrupt people, I'm sorry to say, so Sarah Yanti and Constance Spinach, and the two worst people of the week. You need to apologize to the people for the carnage and hardship that you guys have caused me. Thank you guys, and I look forward to coming back.
Please come on back.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Seaton, your person of the week or player of the week.
Thank you very much. I don't have a person. Let's say my persons of the week.
It could be an entity, it could be an agency, it could be anything.
I'm coming now. My person of the week are those Liberians who are struggling in Liberia with drug addiction, and there is no remedy to help and solve their addiction problem. The government of Liberia, when President Bouaka came to power, he said, well, he was instituting a drug policy, only to go and check himself for drug. And that was the only policy his government ever initiated. Today, you see the vast majority of young people who are jobless are on drugs. There is no remedy. There is no national policy to address the epidemic of drugs coming into our country. And it is a shame. It is a shame that people will have to demonstrate to say no to drug. But saying no to drug does not necessarily mean it can stop addiction. It does not necessarily mean there is a policy to address the drug epidemic situation in the country. The government needs to wake up. Drug abuse is not the only problem confronting Liberians. Liberians need jobs. Liberia needs to send their children to school. Liberia needs to thrive in their own country. And I don't know whether the government is addressing these issues, because the news that is coming from Liberia is terrible. The government needs to double up its effort. So my people of the week are those Liberians who are struggling with drug addiction, and nothing has been done to help them overcome the addiction. And it's sad that people have to go in the street to demonstrate and say no to drug. By you saying no to drug, it's just a smoke screen. Where is the policy to address the drug epidemic in the country? The drug is flowing from Rabafi, it's flowing in from the Liberian Ivorian border, it's flowing in from the Liberian Guinean border, it's flowing in from the Liberian Sierra Leone border, it's flowing in through from the Freeport. It's coming all over the place.
So, please take this follow-up.
Stop the flow of drugs into the country. What is the policy that this government has? Big speeches is not going to cut it.
Thank you. We got one person in line. Go ahead.
Yes, so the person already dropped the line. 07764 9986 plus 231 777 9986 is the number to call here on the closing argument on Truth FM 96.0 777 9986 077 64986. So you can just continue. I think
yes, Mr. Nagbe, your person of the week, and why?
Oh, thank you, Mr. Gayman. Actually, I have two groups. My first, of course, I agree with Mr. Seaton, will be the organizers of the Say No to Drugs campaign, the mothers, the fathers too, the brothers and sisters. I listened to some of the stories yesterday. Some of the stories that drove some of these people to come out. One of the ladies was saying, even though her son has stolen practically everything that she ever owned, including her diabetes medicine machine, but she still loved her son, and she just wanted him to be, clean. And so I congratulate them. They'll be my first group of people of the week. Of course, my second group would be the CMC and its leadership. The CMC and Justin, sit down. Don't come close to it. Don't come close to it.
Good news scares him.
So the CMC and the leadership, and of course, you know, our IT team in the background, you know, work laboriously, you know, to make our IT department functional and go live, you know. And so those are my not so good people of the week would be the Liberia Telecom
Yeah. So
big
Mr.
company.
Nagbe, can you please wait? Let's see what we can try this person. Hello,
Okay.
caller.
Yeah, hello, I'm on the line.
Yeah, go ahead. Your name and where do you call from?
Okay, so I said my name is Patrick Gale, according to my GBs, to be a precise software.
Okay, make your contribution tonight.
Okay, I just want to say thanks to the panelists, headed by, Mr. Gayman and our guests. I just want to add my voice to those many voices. My brother, the way I am presently, I'm lying down, in the hospital. I had an accident in January. And since I came here, I came from Grand Julius to be, exactly people from. I reside in Zredu, but I'm here for treatment. And I've been monitoring this program since I've been here, since June. I just want to say this, that the government had to do more. Talking cannot solve the issue of drugs in our country. The government need to put policy in place that those people who are importing drugs to our country, that there will be a benchmark that if you are caught, that you should go through certain punishment, that it will serve as deterrent to those of us who are in the habit of bringing drugs to our country, that is damaging our future leaders. If the government having to do that, you will see, we will start seeing changes in the society. But you have to go on radio and say, oh, put stop to go, all you cannot stop. It will not stop this situation in our country. So they need to we need to put their feet to the fire so that they can get ready and see how best they can put stop to the drug coming to our country. So I just want to say thanks to everyone.
Okay, so before we take leave,
who's your person of the week?
Okay, so before we take leave of you, who's your favorite person of the week?
You're talking about of the week.
Government official, private person. Who's your favorite person?
The person of the week, I would say the senator from Lofa County, Senator Sarah Momo.
Okay, why?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the reason why I said Senator Sarah Momo is my favorite person of the week is that the transport ministry issue that been circulating in our country, and that ministry were enacted to law since 1987. Now, today we are seeing that other government officials who, because of their own service gain, trying to give a contract to a foreign entity. And Senator Momo was the one who came out to say, this thing that we're doing here, it have a security,
indication.
Risk. You understand? And he's not the only one in the house there, but because he sat on the board, that board as chairman, the security, something. So you are able to be bold and tell the Liberian people that the kind of risks that thing it has. So this is what I said. He is my favorite person of the week.
Okay, the second person, if you have.
To be frank, the second person. Then I will let me just stop.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, 077764986 plus 231 777649986 is the number to put in your calls. 07776499986 plus 231 777649986. So, Mr. Gayman, go ahead.
Mr. Nagbe, you were in flight.
Thank you, Mr. Gayman. Yeah, so quickly, I said again, my groups of the week will be the organizers of the Synod to Drug. And of course, the CMC and the leadership, congratulations. They are right now, they're taking the political space like a whirlwind, and we hope they keep it up. bring something new to the space and something different, and let's help our people. My not so, honorable people of the week will be the Honorable Patrick Honor, the money sprayer and the rainmaker, and his partner in spraying and rainmaking, Jerome Pierre. Jerome Pierre, don't get vexed with the people for reporting on what you do. They're
It
only
was an illegal recording.
No. Anyway, thank you. Those will be my people of the week.
Great. So for Mr. Nagbe, CMC takes the cake, the organizer for the parade, and for the caller, he says Senator Momo from Lofa County.
Momo Saras, yes.
Yeah, Momo Saras is his choice. And for Not So Good, we have Patrick Hunter, the money sprayer,
the rainmaker,
and his partner in crime, Jerome Pierre. Those are the folks today, but I'm going to pick my institution of the week. And that institution happens to be the Unity Party. The Unity Party pulled up what we call public relations coup. They were able to sponsor a rally. And they began by saying that nobody should be the leader of the organizing team because they did not want to empower anybody. So they say it's the people's thing. Then they turned around and printed thousands of t-shirts, black t-shirts, said no to drugs, and gave it to folks. Then they wrote the actual solution. Then they came and presented it to themselves. And they came and received it and said, we are now going to take it to the leader. Who are the leaders? They are the leaders. Then the legislator come and say, Ms. Kana Bono Boko, the lady from Bapolu, say, we are wrong you, we have failed you, we didn't do well. These are all people who have lawmakers, they are part of the executive, some are members of the legislative branches, and I saw Emma Tue, I saw all these guys on the platform say, we will take this thing to the president and we will deliver it and we will do this. And I saw a group of Zogos with brand new shirts on, and they say, we are saying no to drugs, we are saying no to drugs. So when you're talking about organizing and putting a wool over the foot, and some people believe it that this thing was just done by nobody, it just happened spontaneously. That was a magnificent work of PR for the great smart people to say, you know what? Nobody did this, it just happened.
It's not spontaneous.
Yeah, who printed these shirts? Who printed these flyers? No money, no budget. It just happens.
It just happened.
It just happened. And the first person
it is not spontaneous.
Yeah, the first picture on the front pages of all the paper is the president where he said no to drug. I think her name
Mama screen.
Yeah, Mama Kamara, where her name Mama Ability. They also said no to drug. Can you imagine? And people really believe that this thing just happened.
Yeah.
So
when they have no policy.
Yeah, this is a smooth. This is what we call putting the wool over the faces of the foot, and people bought it too. A lot of people bought it.
Of course.
So I have to give it to them. When you talk about propaganda, when you're talking about smoke screen, these guys are expert at it. Even to the point where the victim themselves, the drug dealers, they gave them shit.
They manipulated them.
Yeah, the drug victims. They came from the graveyard, from the grave, and they're dancing. We said no to drug. They got a nice t-shirt on, well engraved, and they're walking around. The victims. And in the group are some of the drug dealers themselves, the police chief, the people who are arresting power, marching with them. Like I said, it's like in Monrovia, right? We somebody say roll, and we all come outside and chasing the road, not knowing the road is in our group, also saying roll, and we just running. We don't know
yes.
what the person is.
Exactly.
It's a phantom. That's what it is. So The government is saying, we are saying road, drug is bad. The government journalists said drug is bad, and we're all clapping. So who are we talking to?
And you know, the sad part about it is that since the government came into power, the issue of the drug epidemic has been growing in the country. And the government, up to today, has now formulated a strategy or a national policy to address this situation. Only to come out for small screen today, yesterday, I don't know.
Well,
you know, the people should stop. That's why I don't believe in politicians. Because
one minute. I see Joseph Walakanda here says his person of the week is Opa Kwame Weeks for bringing out the less fortunate and distressed situation on social media for assistance for around the world. This guy has done a magnificent job. This man has done a magnificent. I'm glad that somebody recognized him.
That's true.
This man has been doing this thing for over 5-6 years. Goes into the ghetto, find people who are distressed, raise money for them on the spot, take them to the hospital, pay, get a receipt, account for every dime. And nobody over 6 years have ever come out to say he did something other than what he promised to do. He has helped children with distended stomach, people with, you talk about cleft lips, talk about children with dyslexia, children with epilepsy. So this man is doing a great job. And yes, Joseph Wellacademy, thank you very much for nominating Kwame Opa Weeks. Excellent human being, very good journalist, and we salute him. Yes, go ahead. You were in flight, Mr. Seaton.
No, before Jackson, I want to thank you guys for the time. Thank you, great show. Thank you to the audience, but I got to run.
Yes, so, we got 2 more minutes.
Okay.
7:30, we are out of here. So I'm glad that he is there. But Mr. Seaton, take us out.
Yeah, and Gayman, it is sad for our country that in spite this young man, he has been doing all this good he has been doing, trying to help our less fortunate brothers and sisters in our country. And people sit on thousands and thousands, even millions and millions of dollars. They live the flamboyant life, and they cannot even help the less fortunate in the country. Many of these people that are on drugs, they see drugs as the only way out. They see drugs as the only way out. I grew up in Newtown. Okay, fine. So this thing here is something that I know more about. Most of the people that are on drugs, because they hardcore drug now, they are trying to find a way out of their desperate situation. The vast majority of them are living in abject poverty. They don't have jobs. You understand? And government comes, government go. They don't provide. There is no policy. That is the point. How do we address the drug epidemic? How do we rehabilitate these people? How do we make them to be what? Good citizens of our country? This is the discussion that's supposed to be happening and coming up with solutions. But to have a small screen a protest of saying no to drugs when if to say that everything was planned and organized by the government, because where people will get money from, the people who say no to drugs, the people that were in the street, who gave them the t-shirts, who organized this thing. And you understand? So they should stop fooling the Liberian people. Our people are for too long.
That's the voice of the veteran journalists. He been there when we were growing up. Newtown, Point 4, Bassa, wherever, Fantita. The hardest drug we ever heard about was marijuana.
The man they are doing kush. Can you imagine that? And you know the sad part about it, let me just give you a little story. I remember it was out of 2017. I have the picture, right? A delegation of the Association of Liberian Journalists in the Americas. We met with President Bouaka, that time he was vice president, at a hotel downtown Washington, D.C. He discussed this same issue that, look, you got children in Liberia, the place where we're supposed to bury people there where they live now, we need to find a way to help them. And he lost that election to George Weah. He's now president. Just imagine, 2017 was discussed at a hotel in Washington, D.C.
8 years later.
8 years later, the problem still persists, and you are now president. You have the power and the means to find a solution. And you got people around you who are not helping you, but you still keep them around you. I don't understand that. I don't.
Well, that's the Liberia that will bequeathed to them, and
that's
that's what we're going to leave. That's what we're going to do.
And if you want, I can share that picture with you. We met with him at a hotel in DC. The man Anthony Kessler was there. Steve Pewee was in that gathering.
Yep, the Anthony Kessler himself now, he's Deputy Minister of State for Presidential Affairs. He sits at the right hand of the president, and he doesn't see any of these things now.
No,
anybody who says anything, he calls you an enemy of his state.
Well, he's a propagandist, so we know that.
There you go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in. Let's do this again on Monday.
It was a good show. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, next week, Friday, they'll come up with new folks, people of the week. Thank you very much. God bless.
God bless you.